Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop. First things first, still no deliveries. I just checked. Mm, that is indeed the good stuff. Um, After the coolant event last night, it was necessary. The cat litter did not quite cover what came out of the car, came out of the truck yesterday. So had to power wash the entire floor of the garage. Well, I started with just doing that section, and then I was like, you know what, screw it. I've got everything out. It's a very nice day. It's going to be stupid cold tomorrow. For Florida, it's going to be cold. I think 42 degrees tomorrow for the low. Yeah, not pleasant. So I moved all the cars out, power washed everything, let it dry, moved the cars back in. And as you can see, I flipped the limo around because we're pretty much done in the trunk, except for charging batteries and putting battery and a water tank in there. But otherwise, we're pretty much done in the back half. Now a lot of it is front half. It's finishing the plumbing, finishing the wiring up in here, and getting the Sniper tuned and making it run 100%. The brakes are done. The transmission's in great shape. We can fine tune the transmission definitely, but most of the stuff is in the front of the car. So flip the car around and aired it up. As you can tell, I don't know. Can you guys see that thing? I mean, the air ride is crazy on this. So I did a little teaser last night, and because it is cold, I figured to just make this one quick. I did a little teaser last night and see if you guys can figure out, what the part was. And by the way, it is really nice to have a clean shop. I have to say, having the floor clean is nice. So I saw this when I was looking for air cleaners for the 383 stroker. And I'll give you guys a basic rundown of the car in a minute here. But this is what I found. And this is a little push button instead of the wing nut. So this guy goes on the carb or EFI unit. And then this is a push button. So you put the air cleaner and the cover on top. You just have a push button. You don't have a wing nut or a knob or anything like that. I thought that was kind of interesting. I wanted to try it out. Now, for me, I think this is a little short. I think it's going to be kind of close. I really wish they would have made this another 2 inches longer and cut it off. Now, the other thing is there's no instructions on this, but again, it looks fairly simple. It looks like there's one nut, but there's no washer. You would think there would be a plastic washer there, but that's okay because we'll take dissimilar metals and coatings and we'll see what happens. So quick rundown on the limo. This is a 1980 Cadillac Fleetwood limousine. And this was the backstory I got on this is sketchy at best because I've looked for years and I still haven't been able to find anything. This apparently was built for a rap music video. And it is a chop top, as you can tell. And it has a 3-person hot tub in the back. And I've never been able to find the rap video or any music video with this car in it. Originally, it had 23s on here, and now it has 17-inch Daytons, 100-spoke Daytons. So this guy goes on, and then oh yeah, he just clicks. You don't even have to press the button. You press the button to release. Okay. So, and then he just clicks into place. That's it. It does swivel a little bit, which I guess is okay. But yeah, I think this stud portion is a little bit short. So yeah, let's see how this guy works out. Like I said, there was no washer here. Personally, I would have added a nylon, very thin nylon washer, um, just because you are working with dissimilar metals and coatings, and just kind of helps with corrosion. Um, the other thing, uh, it looks like you're gonna have to drill a hole, make a hole a lot bigger. We'll check when we pop the hood here in a second. I'm gonna hang on to this just in case for some reason I have to return it. Um, so it was used in a music video. I've never found the music video, and a buddy of mine and I got it as kind of a joke. And with all the racing that I've done, this car's kind of been in the background for a while and done little bits here and there. Tried to get it going. Tried different engines. We went big block. We went small block. Or sorry, yeah, we had it came with a 305 that was completely trashed, and um, then we went to 454 that didn't mount in the car correctly, and then I got a 383, and that one wasn't correct. The cam bearings were not aligned correctly, and so I just said screw it. And one day I drove up to Summit and got a Blueprint 383 stroker. So this now has 485 horsepower. It has 490 foot-pounds of torque. It'll do a huge burnout. This thing is great now. It'll cook. It'll absolutely cook. Um, so yeah, slowly but surely, I've been doing little things on this car while I've been doing racing stuff. And there was a lot of focus on racing in the last couple of years. So this car's kind of fallen by the wayside. But now that I'm here in Florida, I have a ton of time to work on it. The other thing I've done is I put airbags all the way around. We have a full air system on this, and they're pretty heavy duty. They're the dump truck airbags, so they'll hold all of the weight. Currently, the car's just under 5,000 pounds. With the water and all the plumbing and stuff, I think it'll be pretty close to 7,000 pounds. Um, and with the drivetrain that's in it, the TH400, the 383 stroker, this thing will easily do 100 miles an hour. No problem. It does not handle great, but again, it is not made to. It is supposed to be a fun cruising car, but you can also do fun stuff with it. There is a line lock in it, so you can lock up the front calipers and do, the back wheels spin free, and you can burn the tires to the ground. So this car is, like I said, it went for a little bit of ridiculous, but a lot of fun. So hopefully that comes through. I'll pop the engine on this, and I'll bring you guys over and get you guys in the engine bay, and we'll see if we can get this guy installed tonight. I have a feeling that I'm going to have to do some drilling because I don't think my air cleaner hole is 3/4 of an inch diameter. It's pretty big. So give me a second. We'll get some. The hood isn't normally popped like this, so I'll show you guys. The hood release is actually down here in the fender well. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but that little latch, that lanyard pull is actually hooked up to a wire that does the hood release. And yes, the car's pretty dirty. A lot of this has been outside for the last, I don't know, 10 days, 12 days. So yeah. Here's the engine bay. Show you some of the kind of cool stuff we've done to this. Now, the good part about this car is pretty much everything is steel. If it's not steel, it's fiberglass. So how can we switch that around? Like that? Yeah, there we go. That works pretty well. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some drilling. All right, I'm gonna bring you guys over. And we'll take a look at the interior. You can do that hot tub. And there's the new caulk. I got to say CAULK. The whole inside it. The floor is getting sanded down, and all new CAULK is going in there. That stuff is actually the CAULK remover for the old stuff that was in there. And then this is a fiberglass deck. The gel coat, the fiberglass in this car is actually amazing. There's a whole frame underneath this whole thing. So you can stand up here. As you can tell from some of my shoe prints, you can stand on this no problem. And then the interior, there's a lot of stuff right now stashed in the interior. But these door cards are probably 5/8 of an inch thick, probably 14, 15 millimeters thick. They're solid fiberglass. They're about 40 pounds each. As you can tell, there's no dash in the car. There's no gauges at all, no speedometer, no oil pressure, no engine temp, nothing. I get most of my engine information from the Holley Sniper display right there. It is a floor shifter because they shortened the steering column to fit the hot tub in here. So the column shifter had to go on the floor. The seats are out of it right now. They're low back seats. They're on the opposite side of the car. The seats, when I got it, were not bolted down in the car, so I drove it all the way back to my shop with no seats. It has this crazy obnoxious steering wheel, and normally it doesn't have this on here. That's just Florida sun protection because this gets really hot. So I just got this little silicone sleeve, and it's actually a pretty nice grip too. And what else? Like I said, they built this really well. You can do pull-ups on this. It's strong as hell. A lot of this fiberglass. The dash, everything is really, really, really thick. The downside is the rest of the build of the car was not done very well. So the fiberglass looks kind of cool, and it's really strong. There's little cracks and stuff that need to get touched up. There's some gel coat also that can get touched up, but overall this car's in actually pretty damn good shape. And of course it's been outside, and pollen down here is pretty serious. We have no door handles on here, so we have door poppers, and those are now all wired up correctly. And then here's the fun part. And this is our engine. Our engine, by our engine, I mean my engine. And we do have original Cadillac foldy thing. And since I'm going to be doing stuff in here, God damn it, I can't even remember how this thing comes out now. I have to take this thing off. If you've never seen one of these, they're actually kind of interesting. It's on, it has a little spring hold down here so that it's flexible. So when you bend it, it actually gives way. There's a little bar in there that goes down to the bottom of the spring. So that's how those are on. Originally, this came with this huge horse. It was about 7 inches tall, and he was kind of, up in the air. And if he was anatomically correct, I would have kept him, but he wasn't. So we're going to save this guy too. I'm just going to put him in a safe spot where I can see him, because we're going to be doing a lot of stuff in here. Last thing I want to do is keep hooking stuff on that. So upgrades, aside from the blueprint engine, we have brand new brake booster, brand new brake lines, brand new calipers, brand new pads. You can see the line lock back there. Where's my pointy stick guy? Where'd my pointy stick go? Oh, he's over here for catching bugs. So I'll do pointy stick. Okay. So back here is the line lock. And that, like I said, locks up the front brakes and lets the rears go free. Brand new blueprint 383 stroker. We have a brand new alternator. We have another brand new alternator that will get installed here. We have 2 alternators because we'll be running 4 batteries. 1 battery on this side, 1 battery on this side, 1 battery in the back corner, 1 battery in the other back corner. We still have some wiring to do on the alternator right now. You can tell he's not plugged in. And we have a ton of wiring cleanup to do over here, because we have not only a new radiator, dual core This is a huge radiator that also does the AC lines. It does the AC cooler, but he also has cooling fans on him, which is something different than the original. Had a big fan here with a big fan shroud. So we have electric cooling fans on this, which really, really, really helps keep the car cool. What I don't have, what was removed from the build, was the radiator mounts that go right here and right here. Those had been removed, so we have our zip tie special and they work just fine. Also, catch can is a Jegs container with a tube in it. That's all I had at the time. Like I said, the wiring here has been sketchy at best. You can see with the old engine, there was some melting, and a lot of this stuff has to get redone. Just, it wasn't done very well at the beginning. Over here, you can see the heater core and AC has completely been removed. This is just an aluminum panel right now. There is nothing on there. The nice part about that is you can pull that panel off and you can get underneath the dash without having to crawl underneath the dash. Although most of the time I'm crawling underneath the dash. We have new headers on here, full custom exhaust all the way back with dual resonators and dual mufflers that are not correct, and I overpaid for, and I'm an idiot for that. New radiator hoses, two new power steering lines, but the steering box is original. There's new shocks, but those came with the air system. And just for reference, this hood's almost 200 pounds just by itself. It is a 3-person job to take this hood off. We had the hood off when we were putting the engine in, and it is absolute work. So we'll pull this off. And this is our Holly Sniper. It actually looks like a carburetor, but it's electronic fuel injection. And this is our clear distributor, which is kind of a showpiece. It's not really, you can get, nice MSD distributor or something that works a lot better, but doesn't look as cool. When the engine's running, there's a little blue spark that spins around inside here, which is actually pretty cool. So like I said, this car's a lot of show. If we really want hardcore horsepower, we can make the necessary changes. The other cool part on this car is on the water pump, I have a secondary outlet. And on the limos, you had front and rear heat and AC. So there's actually coolant lines that run all the way through the frame, all the way to the back. Those coolant lines are going to be used to heat our hot tub water. There we go. So we're going to take kind of some of what was originally there and turn it into what we need to do. So tonight, I guess that stud is going to be kind of big enough, I think. It just seems kind of short. Maybe I'm just used to carbs, like old school carbs, where it's just super long. It's just a big chunk of all thread. So this is the one that came out of it. And I don't know where the nut is. I think it's still in Columbus, but that's what's originally in there. Oh, wait, who's here? Hey, Pete. Hey, Liz. Yeah. And you can tell the engine's a little dusty. Like I said, the pollen and dirt and the lawn care guys, they kick up a lot of stuff. So let's find our new one. Now, the difference is, and this is going to be one of those just stupid things that bugs me, doesn't bug anyone else. Notice the two different nuts. One's a flange nut and one is just a standard nut. This is actually called a Keps nut with a serrated edge. It's very hard to see. It has this serrated face. I'm going to use this nut on this piece. I definitely prefer the Keps nut versus, the flange. That is me being very weird. Not necessary for anyone else to be that weird. That is just me. So, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess you have to drill a hole. You have to drill a hole in your air cleaner that fits this guy through it. And what I'll probably do is I'll measure this, and I'll probably get a couple of very thin nylon washers. Just because I know what's going to happen with different plating, vibration, all that other stuff. I can tell you exactly what's going to happen with this. So we'll measure that out quick since we're here. Whoops, come back here. And we're at 18 millimeters, or just under 3/4 of an inch, 0.7 inches. So if we did a 3/4 inch ID washer, we would be in pretty good shape. So what do we have for drilling? Now this is where step bits come in handy. So we're going to drill a, these are called step bits or Christmas tree bits or ice cream bits. We have to do a hole in sheet metal that's very thin. I think this last one might actually be the right size. Again, we can measure it. I think this is the biggest one I have too. I don't think I have a larger. So I don't even know if this guy's going to fit. Um, 18.8. I don't think so. 18.9. So we're going to be very, very, very close. 1/10 of a millimeter. I don't have any other drill bits here that are any bigger unless we go into like hole saws and stuff. So we're going to have to put this bit all the way through. We're going to have to change that hole to this size. That's going to make some noise and it's going to sound gross. Hey, Pete, that's awesome. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. You guys are Miata buddies. Or you're Miata club. That's cool. It is incredibly gratifying doing this stuff yourself, and whether you're learning or even if it's just replacing parts, it is insanely gratifying doing it yourself. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, yeah, you can drop stuff off at a shop and give them bags of money and have them, do this and all of that. And for some stuff, I will. For painting and body work, I'll drop this thing off every day. But for the mechanical stuff, for drilling, tapping, welding, tolerances, all of that stuff, I'll do it myself. I can't do tires. I don't have a tire machine, but otherwise, except for body work and paint, I would do it all myself. I really would. And it's incredibly gratifying when you turn that key and that thing starts up. It's amazing. So let's see. I'm going to put this on something, and I've got a couple of pieces of wood. Excuse me, a couple of pieces of wood here. And I'm going to drill this out quick. And try not to dent it. Give it some decent support. I'm going to mute you guys because it's going to make some gnarly noise. Okay. So I'll be back in 1 minute. All right. Hang on. Okay, we're back. We have our new hole, and we can take these off now. I can also probably wipe this down. Just do shot of detail around here. And put this guy back on the ground. And everything off the floor when I was cleaning today. And I just noticed something kind of interesting on the inside of this. Oh yeah, seam already. Just kidding. But the good part is Blueprint makes tons of these, so I'm not too worried about digging into them. But I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you see that little? This is spray. When the sniper gets its first signal, it does a little pulse, which is kind of like just a helper spray to start up. And so this is the stuff that I guess is left over or gets unburnt or whatever. So get this guy on here. This is not a very, very, very expensive part in any way. Now, with snipers, if you're trying to do the low profile cover, you run into a couple of issues. I'll show you. This one's been obviously cut out. This was cut out by the previous owner, who the sniper I originally had was a 454. So this has been cut out for clearance on the backside for the fuel line. It wasn't cut out very well. It was just cut out with an angle grinder. But that's so it will actually sit flush. I believe it's for the fuel line. I think. Anyway, so when you have the low profile one, the one that dips down, you have to make sure there's clearance for stuff. That's what normally these notches are for, but for the sniper, you need a little extra. I think that's what he was for. Definitely wasn't for the throttle linkage, although it should be, because the throttle linkage actually touches. So this is us all the way down. Huh. That's interesting. Isn't that? Yeah, and then it wouldn't come all the way back down. That's interesting. So if we come back over here, he doesn't clear because he hits the bottom. So we'll probably have to do a regular cover on here. That is very interesting. But for now, we'll do them like this. And I can also do a shorter air filter. This is, I believe this is a 2-inch. Yeah. Looks like it. No, this is a 3-inch. So I can do a 2 or 2.5 and just do a regular air filter on there and I'd be okay. Plus, this is letting in air from over here. So we'll just do this for setup right now. And we'll get something different. This guy threads in. This is a 1/4-20, by the way. It's a 1/4-inch diameter, 20 threads per inch. So I'm gonna do this guy all the way down. That's all the way bottomed out. And then we'll see how far we have to come up. Well, actually, let's mount this guy. We'll see if he does go in there. Oh, he might actually have to thread in there. He's pretty tight. Oh, no, he does go in. Wow, that is a very, very tight fit. Yeah. I think at the very least, a nylon washer on the inside. Considering how not cheap this was, they can include a nylon washer in there. So since I'm going to be putting a washer in here, I'm just going to do them finger tight. And also, oh yeah, I guess you can sort of center him up a little bit. So that's what he looks like mounted. But you could do a nylon washer here, and you could very easily do a nylon washer here. So okay. So as we can tell from that, we're now Annika Niles. So we can shorten that. And that's at the very tallest. So that tells us how far we can shorten it. That is the one downside about this is you're sort of, if you go too short, then it doesn't work. So wait, let me see here. So he snaps in place. Now I have to lift on the edge. If I push the button, I don't know, because I guess he needs to be under tension. Anyway, so this guy is long enough, and I'm not going to I'm not going to trim them with you guys here because you guys don't want to hear that. I promise. So we'll get him trimmed down. He needs to be trimmed. That's why we love calipers, right? So we can get him kind of level. He needs about an inch. I was going to say an inch and a quarter. So if we trim him down 30 millimeters, we should be okay. So we'll get him trimmed down. But yeah, if you push on this, so you have to lift. Yeah. So you want him to be sunk a little bit so that when you push on the button, he releases and pops up. So you want him to have pressure. So we're going to take, and we'll do a little bit at a time. We'll take an inch off of the bottom, test it, take another 1/8 of an inch off, test it. We'll just keep doing it like that. Till we get a right fit. So yeah, he should go a little bit lower than fully here, and then that way he's spring loaded and he pops up and you can just lift the edge off because he does have a little room to push in when he pushes in. So yeah, he springs back a little bit. See that? I don't know if you guys can see that spring back. I'll try and get it at a good angle here. He does have a little spring in him, so you want to have that catch where he's sprung. You know, he's pushing up a little bit, and that way, when you hit this, he'll push up. He'll spring vertically. So, not too bad. Just going to set him in there for now. That's actually pretty quick. Lines up pretty good. Like I said, my only thing would be the nylon washer. And I would do 2 very, very thin ones, one on top, one underneath. Call it done. It's the only thing I would add to that product. It's actually pretty decent. And I don't remember how much it was. I can look it up for you guys really quick. So that is the limo. And I'll tell you right now, the hood will not close with that on there or this sticking up. So we'll set this on because he can stay there, and we will trim that up later. Nice. So there's our limo, and there's our air cleaner. Yeah, it's pretty good. Let me see. We're gonna do a well-deserved rockstar break here. All right. Let's see. Give me a second here to find that. There it is. I'll get you the exact price on it. Came right from the manufacturer, which is Quick Latch Products. And I got it in brushed, and it was $30. Oh God, why can't you guys see that? $29.99.99. So $30. It actually defaulted to brushed when I clicked on it. I actually wanted polished, but it's okay. I don't really mind. I do not mind. And there's the picture of them at my door. That's not my camera. That's really blurry. It's like the dude was running. It's like, yeah, see, I put it at your door. Okay. That's awesome. Love it. I absolutely love Amazon. That's so funny. So, lots more stuff coming on the limo. Like I said, we're going to do the gauges. I didn't show you guys the gauge pod, did I? I think I did. We've got to move some stuff, move some wiring that's over by the air compressors and bring it over here. And we have our gauge pod and looks like this. So this is like slides behind the seat. And this is how you hold it from the center gauge. This is our fuel gauge, which we've been dying to have. The car hasn't had a fuel gauge in ages. This is our PSI gauge for all the airbags. And this is the on and off switch for that PSI gauge, because otherwise it's on full time. And this is seriously like a $10 fake carbon fiber mount, but it's cheap, it's portable, and I'll have gauges because I don't have any gauges in there. Also, I can hide it behind the seat. I can pull it up and set it on the passenger seat, whatever I need. So that's why we're running this for now. We'll have something different down the road, but this works great for now. The gauge was like, I think the gauge system, it was kind of expensive. I think it was like 100, 125 bucks, and it has all the sensors and everything. And it comes with the display, which is multicolor. The switch was like 10 bucks. The gas gauge was like 30 bucks. So we'll at least have some. Oh, that reminds me. Wheel chuck. Important. Oh, okay. Try not to fall over. Just in case. It is just in case. It's not for anything necessary. And now we can put our wood away, which actually doesn't go there. And we'll sweep up our metal shavings after we're done here. Put our tools away. You guys can remind me to get a new Christmas tree bit set, the larger ones that go up to like 1 inch. That's what I really need. That's kind of where we're at. Again, another thing that's going to be a lot of fun in this car is doing the headlights up front. And that's going to be a pretty serious involved project because we're doing a lot of LED lights, and the switching on them is going to be super cool. So you guys will want to stick around for that. That one, the car actually might be like halfway outside because those lights are so bright. You're gonna want a little distance between me and the light, so I don't want it up against the wall. But yeah, that'll be a cool switching thing. That'll be a cool switching thing. So thanks again for hanging out tonight. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys enjoy that quick latch. Next time we're here, I'll show you how well that works. Like I said, I just got to trim that, and I don't want to bore you guys with that. And I want to put the nylon washer on there. If I put it all together right now, I'll forget about the nylon washer. So I want to do that. And the other thing I'm going to add to that is some blue Loctite, just because I know how engines work. I know how stuff vibrates, all of that. So we'll add some blue Loctite, the nylon washer, and I'll get that thing trimmed, and it should be a nice little addition to the car. So hopefully you guys like it. Quick Latch does make some other kind of cool products, so we'll check those out. Maybe we can use them somewhere else on the car. I think that's about it for tonight. Like I said, it's going to be really cold. I don't know if we're going to be streaming tomorrow, just because. I mean, I'm so used to the cold, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. How productive I am, and how much time I have left to work on the car. So with any good fortune, we'll stream tomorrow night. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys in a couple days, and we'll try and get more stuff done. Hopefully some of that wiring with the gauges, the pressure gauges and the gas gauge. We'll get that going so that it fires up every time. It's kind of complicated because the gas gauge works with key ignition, and the sorry, the fuel level gauge goes with keyed ignition, and the pressure gauge works with full time. So one is from this battery up front, the other one comes from the battery in the back. It's weird, but that's how we're doing it. So that's how it has to be done. Um, so I'll show you guys how all that works and how all of that wiring stuff gets done. And we're also going to do some wiring stashing, getting stuff up off the floor and onto the frame so that it's out of the way, it doesn't get water on it, et cetera, et cetera. And just gives a little more room, and it's a much cleaner look inside too. So I'll show you guys how we do all that, and uh, probably wipe down the car tomorrow. It's absolutely filthy. I have some old detailer I want to get rid of so I can go back to using my Jax Wax stuff. So I'll probably get the car all wiped down too, make it look slightly nicer than it does right now. So again, I appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. Thanks to all the new subscribers. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this stuff. Like I always say, if you have something you want to see, whether it's wiring or mechanical or suspension or brakes or whatever, definitely shoot me a message. I'm easy to get in touch with here. You can text me, Facebook, Instagram, and shoot me a message. I'll see if I can either get that component here or get that vehicle here or whatever, and show you guys in detail how to do that stuff. And yeah, I love doing that. Like I said, I don't get paid for any of this. I don't get a dime from YouTube. I don't get a dime from I don't have any sponsors or anything like that. It is all me. So I love teaching you guys, and I'm glad you like it too. It shows when I see more subscribers, coming on, and I get those email notifications, hey, signed up for your channel. I was like, hey, cool. So I love that stuff. That's the big reward right there. And yeah, so with any good fortune, we'll stream tomorrow night if I can get everything done tomorrow, and it's not total Armageddon with a bunch of frozen iguanas on the ground. Which is actually a real thing in Florida. They have a frozen iguana, a falling iguana warning. It's like part of the National Weather Service or whatever. It gets so cold, they're cold blooded, and it gets so cold here, they stop working and they just fall out of the trees. It's a real thing. I kid you not. It's a real thing. Not a lot of iguanas around here. I got a ton of lizards, and they're real slow. They were real slow today. They'll be real slow tomorrow. So thank God we're not cold blooded. That's a good part. We wouldn't be here if we were cold blooded. So yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out tonight, and we'll jam out some more stuff tomorrow night. We'll keep going on this thing, getting it running and driving, and having fun with it. Don't forget to show someone that you love them today. Give them a kiss on the cheek. Give them a kiss on the tip of their nose. Hold their hand. Give it a squeeze. It is really important for them, but it is far more important for you. All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll catch you soon, either tomorrow or Wednesday. We'll see what happens. All right. Thanks. All right. More limo stuff.